Samantha, given your title, I imagine you're leading a lot of brands into this space for the first time. What is that experience typically like?
It's actually a lot of fun. I love talking about gaming, so being able to talk about the industry and the opportunities, dispel some of the myths, which a lot of that has been happening here at Playfronts. It's a lot of fun to be able to, take them into gaming and then see them get excited about the opportunities.
What's the biggest question you get from brands who have not really gotten far into the sector?
Where do I start? Is usually I think one of the biggest questions that we get. The other question I would say is, wanting to understand a little bit more about gaming. So what is gaming? What's the landscape? But where do I start and how do I enter in a way that's authentic is the biggest ones that we also see.
Can you give us a couple of examples of some great campaigns, either that were very high-touch integrations or something simpler?
It really kind of varies from brand to brand. So a great example, without mentioning names, is we had a CPG brand where they created a custom Fortnite island, and they wanted to basically do a series of tournaments leading up to a major sporting event. And then they did the tournament, and they also live streamed it with a couple of different influencers on Twitch to basically narrate the gameplay as it was happening.
What are some of the bigger obstacles across the board that are slowing the growth of the gaming advertising sector?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it is the misperceptions that we're seeing in gaming. So, and IAB just released their study of the 5 common misperceptions that we're seeing, which I think has really been great, and to dispel some of those myths and help educate clients and brands, even agencies, of what you can do within gaming, I think will help us overcome some of those obstacles that we see.
What about the fragmentation on both sides, on both the buying and sell side? It seems like it's not as concentrated as it could be.
Yeah, I think some of that actually comes because it's a little bit newer. I don't want to say it's new because it's been around for so long, but in terms of new companies popping up, new opportunities, that tends to create the fragmentation. I saw something similar in terms of digital media when that was a new thing in the ecosystem and in the landscape. But so I think the same thing is basically happening within gaming.
One of the things that stood out from the IAB report was that programmatic is growing slower than maybe expected. Is that just understanding the opportunity or getting the infrastructure set up? What's slowing things down there?
I would say it's a little bit about the opportunity, maybe just not being aware of what you can buy programmatically, what is available, what isn't available, how to keep brands safe, tends to be another common thing. And then, I would also say that the overall spend within gaming needs to improve, and as we see more brands shift into gaming, the programmatic dollars, I think, will start to shift as well.
What are you looking ahead to over the next couple of years in terms of this sector growing and getting bigger and more players becoming more prominent?
The visibility that it's going to get, I think that it's really important to look at gaming as part of the overall marketing budget and strategies. So I'm looking forward to seeing it be a holistic approach in marketing versus a one-off, what can I do just for gaming, but thinking about it differently.
Lastly, any moments stand out from you for the past couple days of the Playfronts?
I've loved all of it, actually, which I know is a very cheap answer, but I thought Zoe had a great opening keynote of how important gaming is, the role that it's played within culture. I think all of the presentations have been really unique and different in showcasing things, and I've also loved the opportunity to meet people and to network and see people face to face. So it was a very cheap answer, but I loved all of it.